Quad meeting later on this year in India, and I would ask for your commitment to getting the trade relationships worked out, but also continuing to push forward that meeting. Can you make that commitment, and can you tell me how you think that summit might work out?
Without committing to exact dates, Senator, the President is fully committed to continue to meet with the Quad and strengthening it.
Great, fantastic. At the start of this administration, both President Trump and Secretary Rubio have committed to deepening the cooperation with the Quad to counter Communist China and its effort to dominate the Indo-Pacific. I'm co-chair of the Senate Quad Caucus, along with Senator Duckworth, and I've been particularly pleased to see this focus on streamlining the Quad to deliver tangible results. Despite our trade negotiations with India, the fact remains that Communist China remains the greatest geopolitical threat to both India and the United States. This reality is what revived the Quad during President Trump's first term and will ensure the Quad's relevance and resilience going forward. For security and cooperation shaping the regional technology standards to infrastructure investment to securing supply chains, the Quad countries have too much to gain to let bilateral differences stifle continued progress. Mr. Gor, if you're confirmed, what actions will you take to strengthen the U.S.-India cooperation on the Quad?
Thank you for the question, Senator. 2 points. The Quad is vitally important. In fact, after Secretary Rubio was sworn in and clapped in at the State Department, 1 hour after his first meeting at Foggy Bottom was meeting with the foreign ministers of the Quad. The President is committed to continual engagement with the Quad. In fact, there's already been talks on a trip for the next Quad meeting. Earlier this year, I traveled to Japan and had the chance to meet with the Prime Minister of Japan. They're part of the Quad, and they have also emphasized the important relationship that we must continue to build on. On your earlier point of joint troop exercises, those continue to occur, and we would fully encourage that to grow. Just last week, 500 Indian troops trained with our troops in Alaska. That is a great thing. So in spite of this little hiccup that we have had over tariffs, our relationship is much stronger. It's built on many more decades. And so I will do everything in my power, should I be confirmed, to enhance that.
I'm here to introduce a fellow Floridian and someone who I've known for a very long time, Sergio Gor, who is the nominee to India, which is, I would say, one of the top relationships the United States has in the world today in terms of the future of what the world's going to look like. I said it when I appeared before you as a nominee to the position I currently hold as well, and I don't mean archivist, when I was here in the position as for Secretary of State, and I repeat it again, that the 21st century, the story is going to be written in the Indo-Pacific. In fact, it's so important we've actually changed the name of the combatant command to the Indo-Pacific. India is at the core of that. And we are in a period of extraordinary transition in that relationship with India. We've got some really important issues coming up that we need to work with them on and work through on that implicate what's happening from Ukraine, but also implicate what's happening in the region. It is my view, I hope it'll be your view, that it is important that the United States be represented at that post with someone who has the direct ear and confidence of the President of the United States. And I know of no one over the last, certainly period of time during this administration, but going back 4 or 5 years, no one who has had a better or closer working relationship than Mr. Gor. Someone who I've known since his time working here in the Senate, by the way, with one of our colleagues, and since then has gone on to do different things, but is very, very close to the President, has the President's confidence. And I can tell you that when you interact with these countries, in fact, I've already seen it, when you interact with these countries, having a representative in a place like India that has direct access to the Oval Office, to the President, and who they know can get things done both in the administration and through the Oval Office is critically important. And I don't know of anyone out there that's better positioned to do that than Sergio Gor.